the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up!
Welcome everybody to another episode of This is CorbinCenter. Let's get started with some Corbinite recognition. Actually, coming up I'm going to have quite a bit of these, but the one who gets it for today is George. George, thank you. You're one of the newest members of my Patreon. I want to give you a big shout out. Thank you for taking the plunge, as I always say, and being a part of the community, which is growing at a great rate, which is awesome. I love the fact that they've added the free tier, because now I'm allowing it where I can actually do some stuff where people can follow me, but I can also kind of send previews of some of the stuff so you can kind of catch what you miss. And if you do decide to be like George and jump in and follow to get the exclusive content, the full thing, that's great. I just did one of my first in a long time Zoom AMAs in regards to the floor, because I've been getting so many questions about it. I've actually been turning down podcasts about it because I want to kind of talk to my Patreons first. And I had people join, ask me some great questions. The best part about it is they're never going to overrun 40 minutes, which is great. But for those of you who are Patreons, if you missed it, I am going to put the recording available, and I do plan on to do more of these. So at 16 members strong for both the paid and the free tier, I am excited about this and how much it's growing, because you know how much I love to do exclusive content. Also, as far as social media goes, I don't know how many people put some value into Threads, but I just reached over 600 on Threads, 600 followers. That running community there is great, and as you've seen, I've gotten my Conquer Challenge for 2024. I just started the New York Challenge. Man, it's been great. So I got a lot of stuff planned, and including a couple like in-person runs, which I am personally really excited for. So I'm looking forward to those. But let's, without any further ado, let's start the show, shall we?
Darin, another year in the business is coming up. Arguably, you had a great 2023, no doubts there. What is on the docket here for 2024? What are some of your goals?
Well, 2023 was busy, so 2024, like when you ask, like in terms of succeeding, sometimes I have to think to myself that I am wrestling at a really high pace for somebody that is, like my age, getting to be 40, being in the ring for 20 years. I mean, that's one of the goals, right? Is to reach longevity. So I'm going to hit 40 years. I'm going to hit 40 years. I'm going to hit 20 years, 1,400 matches. So, that's a big accomplishment in itself. I had one of the busiest years that I did in 2023, and I didn't slow down. Even with the injuries that I had, I bounced back from a broken collarbone. I wrestled with injuries all the way from June. I still continued to perform at a high level, and it just justifies big time what a lot of people used to tell me and try to give me advice because they couldn't keep up, and what they used to think the business was because they failed at that opportunity, when they used to be like, oh, this is how you have to do it. And it was all these people who just stuck around. They just stuck in one place trying to tell you how things were, trying to tell me how things were. And I remember they always said something like, you'll see it when you're older. You'll see it when you've been in a long time, when you get to where I was. Well, I am where you are as far as years, and I am still continuing to do fresh things in wrestling, continuing to get big opportunities in wrestling, big opportunities from wrestling, being on national TV. I'm getting the opportunity to have multiple matches in one night in front of bigger crowds than you wrestled in front of. So the deal is, all that was a lie, because that's all you were capable of. I'm able to keep it going. I'm still competing at a top level, and look at everything I do. I'm going to be running 5K races before I go to shows. That's impressive. Well, you know what? Look, I'm glad that worked for you. I'm glad you limited yourself, because if you didn't, you would have been done sooner. But the biggest thing is, you should have just been in demand in the first place. That was the difference. So in 2024, I plan to stay in high demand. And then 2025, 2026, we're just going to keep going right now, because, like I said, I'm going till the wheels fall off.
All right, so your match match gets announced for Freelance. You have you're defending against this bang kid, but there's a typo. Do they not know who you are? I mean, is that disrespectful? Do you take it? Did you take it to heart? I mean, what do you do?
So my match gets announced. They spell my name wrong. Darin Corbin. Sounds like I'm I don't know. Sounds like I'm like a weird supporting actor in a movie. But okay, first of all, I'm going against Davey Vang. I pinned his partner, who got a random shot before me, which is odd, and I pinned him to become the legacy champion. So I think I can beat his partner. And I'm no stranger to the kid. I mean, we've had tag matches against each other. And am I really that bothered by the whole thing with my name being spelled wrong? No. I mean, when I worked for the other promotion in Chicago, they never spelled my name right on the flyer. It was always 2 R's. And I brought it up all the time, and the answer was always something like, I don't do the posters. Well, I'm glad that you don't give a shit about how you're presenting your talent, or that you couldn't care less about if you're spelling the name right. So that's the deal. So that's why I don't really need to plug them, because they never really need to plug my name. But, Freelance has a long way to go before they, I mean, they got like, what, 6 years still of spelling my name wrong on flyers. But you know what? It was funny. It was whatever. I'm not going to let it get to me. Darin Corbin is going to wrestle Davey Bang, and Darin Corbin is going to win, and I guess Darin Corbin has as good of a shot getting a Freelance championship match than Coda Hernandez does. He's trying really hard, but he hasn't really shown me anything that he needs to do, so it's also funny. Call your shot and you get passed up by the other guy? Well, funny how that works, isn't it? That's wrestling for you. Well, thank you so much again for joining me here on another episode of This is CorbinCenter. Upcoming shows that you can see me at as I go to Eau Claire. That will be my next event. Lordman Cometh will be in action. I face a familiar rival in Effie at Second Wrestling, where unfortunately Rabbi Fine gets to control who I wrestle all year round. And, I mean, look, I'm not dreading this match, but I know what he'll do. He'll make it ridiculous for me. There'll be something, or some legend will come out. Who knows what's going to happen? I'm trying to look back at all the old 80s Coliseum videotapes to see who possibly it could be. Then I go back to Freelance, as you know, again, Corbin's coming to Freelance. And then it's pretty much a slow February, but March is going to pick up. Just added a couple things. I will be talking about those in due time as we go through, but I got a couple things I gotta wait to confirm here. But if you join my Patreon, you will see when they become available. And there will be a lot of first wrestling dates that I can't wait for, especially like Hot Streak. And then over the summer, we're gonna be doing some of our big events again. So I'm really excited, of course, looking forward to already Saturday Night Nitro 3, where I saw again, it's a huge accomplishment for us. I can't stress that enough, even if some people, when they walk through the rotunda, take pictures and try and pretend like it didn't exist. But you know what? It's okay. If you can't do the shows, and if you can't even sell out the building that you ran, don't try and knock us down for what we're trying to do, or what we've done, and what we're continuing to do, and how much we're trying to do it, because this guy is at the helm. Thank you for joining me for another episode of This is CorbinCenter.